welcome to One on One with Jane. I'm your host, and today I have Alexandra Toma on my show. She's actually a herb expert. So, what actually got you into doing herbs?
Just my own health and wellness, and my daughter's health and wellness. We were experiencing a lot of side effects and after effects from pharmaceuticals and vaccinations and medical treatment that was just very much unneeded. And so when I started to study the herbs, I had already been through 13 years of medical treatment, and I got off the medical treatment completely and started studying herbs, and I haven't looked back since because I feel amazing.
Oh, that's good. Do you have to always take it the same time each time, or do you have to wait? How does it work? Is that how it works?
Okay, so basically I teach programs, and I'm more of an educator. So if someone calls me and they have high cholesterol, okay? Mainly, really anybody who calls me for anything. Cholesterol, say they've had some diabetes, they have heart disease, whatever it may be. I start them on a program to teach them how to be for really the rest of their lives. So I teach 7-year anti-aging programs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if someone calls me and they set up an appointment with me, then I go through all of their history. Okay.
I was just thinking about something funny. I was like, wow, at least she's a good-looking. You could almost sound like a doctor. And what if someone falls in love with you because they'll be looking at you, then we'll be looking at the medication, and you can tell a lot. You know what I mean? Like you need nice sex appeal to try to sell you something.
Yes, I do sometimes find guys, men in particular, looking down my shirt and trying to look up my skirt. But
oh, wow.
it's part of being human, I think.
Yeah.
And it's fun. I mean, I'm into sexual energy. I have sexual energy herbs, libido herbs. I help people get love back together because really, it's all about love. It's universal love. It lives inside of each and one of us.
Oh, so, well, you know what, during Valentine's Day, I'm sure you would sell a lot, or like.
I have libido kits, actually. We're getting together. So I have a friend here from actually Chicago, and she is helping me get my whole business together because I'm such a scholar and such a researcher. And I have sometimes the spirit will speak to me, and I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I have to write down a formula because a lot of people, tell me their problems. And it could be everything from A to Z problems, and I wake up at night with the spirit speaking to me.
I have to make you laugh. While you're waking up in the middle of the night, I'm writing romance, don't ask how, but I'm writing whatever is hitting my mind, and I started, and then I was up half the night again writing. I wrote one poem, and then after writing one poem, I was going to write more, but I kept thinking of other things, and I slept. I barely slept. Because I have a notebook right next to me, and I write things down. I put it in my notes and my phone. So I definitely feel like herbs are poetry, though, because the way they make your body, mind, and spirit flow is like music and poetry. It's just beautiful. When you feel the spirit flowing inside you, why would you want to thwart it with chemicals? I don't understand that. If you want, it's like in America, we pump these up so big. Like, you can't just take the coca plant and do the coca plant, right? You got to isolate the cocaine, and then you got to pump it up with more stuff, and it's stronger and stronger. Now you've got Adderall in it, speed in it. You have the whole gamut of adrenaline herbs, basically, and then you wonder why you're dying from it. It's like, well, you don't need more of that. We need less of that. If we're going to use these strong plants, then we need to use them properly. What do you use for?
A lot of people are talking about ayahuasca, and ayahuasca is this plant that makes you go basically into the fetal position and rebirth. I mean, that's the only way I can explain it. It pretty much just takes every toxin out of your body. But in such a caustic way, it literally is like you're almost gonna spit up your insides, And then you come out the next 3 days like you're a new person, but to me, that's just too much. It's like, why do you have to do that so fast? Like, what's the point of, like, there's things that you need to do, right, for an emergency. Well, in an emergency situation, you need to do those things. But I don't think that doing them all the time is an emergency. We're not in an emergency.
Is it like a B12? Is it, for example, could you, for example, let's say, I get better ideas if I listen to jazz and classical music, so I have it running sometimes. So is it, for example, if someone wanted to focus on something, do you have something like a B12?
Yeah. So I would discuss to them what it is in their life that they think they need B12 for, and I would talk to them about their diet first. So I would say, what's in your diet? What kind of diet are you following? What have you been following for the last 4 years? Basically, I would go back 4 generations and figure out what their entire family was eating 4 generations back, because it mattered. So if they were 4 generations back eating a ton of processed foods and foods that were devitalized and dead food, right? So a lot of meat, a lot of dairy products, a lot of white flour, a lot of white sugar. I'm probably going to say, yeah, you're kind of depleted in B12, because B12 you can only get from live organisms. So B12 comes from, and so I would ask your friend about her diet. And if she's not getting B12 sources from her food, then I would recommend these B12 sources, right? The second best thing would be for her to take a B12 supplement, because B12 is okay to take supplemented. It's really one of the only vitamins and minerals to take in an isolated supplementation form.
Oh, that's
There's just a few ways. Yeah, because the thing is when you take a B12 vitamin, you're only getting B12. When you take nutritional yeast that has B12 in it, a single cell plant organism, you're getting fiber, potassium, iron. You're getting all of these other nutrition, right? Nutritious whole food, plant foods that are putting the micronutrients and the macronutrients into your body.
Do you
When you
actually
take
have
a
something
B12, you're just getting a B12. What are you chasing the B12 with? Are you chasing it with soda? Because then I'm going to be like, no, that's really bad, But are you taking B12 and you're drinking distilled water, fresh juices? Are you eating, sprouted grains? Are you eating your fresh fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and, legumes? Are you, what's in your diet?
What happened a long time ago to me? I was just thinking about, this is more than 20 years ago. I thought I could get involved with this one company. I was younger at that time, and it was called Equinox International, and I drank their drink. My heart started, there's a girl that kind of looked like you. She tried to get me into it a long time ago. But she was a blonde. She's like, oh, you should get in. I was like, okay. I thought she was smart. So I thought, okay, I got it. I wasted money. It was like an Amway thing where you keep investing. Yeah. But I drank something and it hurt my heart. I thought I was going to die. It was
right.
Liquid
thing. They're pumping those things up with so many isolates and things, extracts, and really strong man-made isolates.
Yeah, that was gross.
I don't even know what would be in that, but I can imagine that it was just pumped up as too much for your body. And then eventually you get accustomed, right? If you ended up drinking that drink maybe 6, 7, 8 more times, maybe your heart wouldn't pump like that, right? Because your body would become accustomed to it. But that doesn't mean that it's doing, safe things for your body. It might be effective. You might have lost 30 pounds from drinking that drink, but you would be really sick afterwards with heart disease or something, or have a heart attack. I don't know.
Speaking of that, actually I make my own drinks. Instead of tea, I barely really drink tea. I have a whole bunch of tea. I make my own drinks, and for more than a year now. And maybe I dropped weight because I came out of the shower thinking, wow, it looks like I dropped weight.
There's a lot of plants that are just naturally anti-obesity plants. Chickweed, cayenne. So if you're doing these kind of plants in your daily diet, then you're going to reduce.
Do you actually get full from the plant?
Go back to balance and harmony, and that's the whole thing. You don't want to force the body to do something. You want it to go there naturally, because that's why I teach 7-year programs, because on my programs, you won't even start to anti-age until the 7th year. And our bodies work like cycles, like the moons and the planets and everything that grows around us. We work in cycles, so we need to be on these cycles. We need to give our bodies a rest once a week, okay? That's just normal. And it should be the same day every week. We should give our bodies every spring a spring cleaning, a winter cleaning, a fall cleaning. You know, a 7-day thing where we every season we do a cleanse and a nourish.
What do you think about the? It's called holistic. It's very expensive in Michigan. There's a thing where you check your whole body off, and for women, for older people it's 4,500. For younger kids it's like 2,500. They see what's wrong with your body, what you're allergic to.
Oh yes, I think that's called
holistic or something?
I think it's a therapist, something they show what colors are inside the body, so it can show inflammation and it can show all kinds of other things where there's unhealthy organs.
It starts with H. Holistic, some funny name, and it's in Livonia, Michigan, and one of my friends told me about it 2 weeks ago, and I stopped thinking about it, so I did some research on it.
Yeah. So I don't do any diagnostics like that. The only diagnostic tool that I use is conversation. And I look at my intake form. It's very thorough. And then I speak with someone for an hour and a half. And then I do follow-ups, right? So my follow-ups are also 45 minutes. And I recommend the follow-ups, like if someone's just getting started in my programs, I recommend a follow-up almost every week for 6 weeks, because they're going to have so many questions. You can't expect to learn what I learned in just 6 weeks. I mean, it took me 3 years. So,
that's good.
So I'm very thorough with my consultations, because that's going to tell me more than a diagnostic tool for sure. Mm-hmm. I could look at, Jane Dabb's holistic chart that what you're talking about, and there's a ton of diagnostic tools that doctors use, Chinese medicine uses, all this stuff.
Yep.
That are doing testing.
Well, thanks a lot for
body.
thanks a lot for being on one-on-one with Jane. Thank you.
You're welcome.